Son of a bitch.
Mario and Luigi Paper Jam. Yet another adventure for the Mario brothers, and this time they're joined by Paper Mario, and also a ton of game-breaking, story-skipping, out-of-bound clipping glitches. So let's kick things off with a glitch that allows you to reach Gloomy Woods early. To do this, we'll first need the dash socks, and then we need to head to these rocks in Sunbeam Plains. There's a nook in the rocks that we can clip into by dashing and jumping. Hold up and slightly left on the circle pad, press X to jump and move to the right whilst in the air. This should clip Mario into the small rock on the right, and then you need to move up and to the left. You now need to repeat the same steps to clip Luigi and Paper Mario through the rock. This can be a bit fiddly, but it's very easy once you get Mario through. Once Paper Mario is inside the rock, you need to head right and out to the other side. You'll now be in an area which can only be reached by using the trio grab, which is received later in the game. From here, we can get to East Gloomy Woods by heading north. When we enter the woods, a cutscene will play as it normally would, but without Trio Grab and Trio Hammer, you won't be able to progress at all once it's over. But there is one strange thing you can do whilst here. Head back to the Lakitu Info Center and begin a Toad mission. The Toad missions you're able to do here are the ones you do in Sunbeam Plains, so complete them and then speak to Lakitu at the desk once again. Doing this will bring up a text box in Japanese, which roughly translates as, "It looks like Paper Toad isn't here at the moment, please try checking other areas." It's pretty cool to see this in an English language release, as it's something the developers never intended you to see. Another way to get to Gloomy Woods early is made possible by this rock next to a heart block. Run up against it holding upright on the circle pad, followed by holding up left on this corner, and Mario is able to get a couple of pixels inside the rock. Keep moving left around the rock while being pressed against it, and here's where you can use Trio Grab to get everyone inside the rock and get out of bounds. You can then cancel Trio Grab, and now you'll need to use the map on the bottom screen to navigate your way to the load zone of West Gloomy Woods. Once you get onto solid ground again, simply step into the load zone and you'll be taken to West Gloomy Woods way earlier than intended. Doing this without Trio Grab is possible, but you won't be able to get very far without it, as it's needed in a few key places to progress. In fact, you can get out of bounds with just Mario and Luigi by using the exact same method of clipping into the rock. The only thing is, when you enter Gloomy Woods, the game will crash when it tries to play a cutscene without Paper Mario being present. Gloomy Woods is full of some very interesting glitches, but for now, let's head to Doop Dunes. Just after you learn Trio Hammer, you can get out of bounds using this rock next to the ledge. Similar to the West Gloomy Woods early clip, you have to get in this corner on the left and wiggle your way into it so that Mario is closer to the rock. Now go to the right around the rock towards the wall and then back again to the left into the corner. You need to keep holding up and to the left until Mario pops up onto the ledge and then drop down and go around the rock to clip Luigi through. Hold up left on the circle pad until Luigi pops up onto the ledge also, and now do the same thing to get Paper Mario to clip through the rock too. Eventually, once all three are inside the rocks, you'll be able to go through the wall and arrive out of bounds. Again, from here you'll be using the map on the bottom screen to navigate your way to a later part of Doop Dunes, which skips a boss fight, some Toad missions, and the grotto. You'll need to make sure you stay clear of the load zones while out of bounds to avoid getting stuck, and then you can simply run through this wall to carry on beyond the bridge with the Pokeys on without even fighting them. This is a really cool speedrun trick that saves a bunch of time, and it's really easy once you get the idea. Moving on to Twinsy Tropics Dungeon, and there's a really simple out of bounds shortcut that you can exploit that will leave you saying, how did they miss that one? Firstly, you'll need to have Trio Grab, which you learn within this part of the game. Then, in this part of the dungeon, you'll see there's no way to run or jump off this ledge. That is, until you run in the very corner, switching between up and right on the circle pad until Mario goes slightly off the edge. Run to the opposite corner of the ledge and back again, and now you'll see Mario is kind of floating off the edge completely. Next, you'll need to use Trio Grab to get both Luigi and Paper Mario out of bounds, and then you can simply run over to the platform on the other side, creating a shortcut. Heading north will take you to a cutscene where you get battle cards, and once that's over with, we can move on to yet another out of bounds glitch. In this area is a torch you can actually use to clip out of bounds. Run against the corner of the torch like this, and then flick the circle pad up once and up left twice. Now move around to the side of the torch facing the camera while remaining close to it and then move inside the torch. Use Trio Grab to get Luigi and Paper Mario stacked inside the torch too, and then hold up left on the circle pad till they fall down into the floor. Now simply press the Y button to use Trio Grab, and this should put them all firmly out of bounds. Now go through the pipe and you'll arrive in Twinsy Tropics, having skipped the Roy and Wendy boss fight. Now that we're here in Twinsy Tropics, the skips just keep on coming. I don't know if you've been taking notes, but this game is pretty broken. So this Toad needs to build a Papercraft boat for whatever reason, but this next glitch out of bounds will skip that entirely. Once you've made your way through Twinsy Tropics up until this point here, you can run into this corner of these rocks. Seriously, the rocks in this game, they're anything but solid. Run and then wiggle the circle pad into the corner and then move down to the right to get in between these two rocks until Mario is kind of floating off the edge again. Activate Trio Grab and then move up right until they all drop to the floor and then press the Y button. This will put them fully out of bounds and able to cross the water, so now you can make your way around the islands to head north, where you can reach this island with a bridge connecting to Doop Doop Dunes. Entering Doop Doop Dunes this way means certain things that should be loaded like extra platforms don't appear, but the collision for them is always loaded, so you're able to run across seemingly invisible floors. From here you'd be able to get to the Toad Village and a warp pipe, but it also means you skip a ton of things in the game like numerous cutscenes, getting Trio Plane, and a boss fight with Paper PT Piranha. Well, seeing as we've come this far, we may as well continue breaking the game some more. Now is a good time to head to Gloomy Woods using the glitch from earlier, and seeing as we have Trio Grab this time, we can see just how broken this part of the game is. Firstly, we can clip out of bounds after the initial cutscene using this tree. Get in Trio Grab formation and then approach the tree from holding upright on the circle pad. When you reach the huge leaf, switch to up left and you'll see that you jolt forward slightly. At this point, you need to quickly hold upright again to clip inside the tree. Once inside the tree, you can use Trio Grab to break through its walls and out of bounds. From here, head right to a ledge where you need to grab a bridge, and this is important. You'll need to do this, otherwise you won't be able to exit Gloomy Woods later. Next, make sure to cancel out of Trio Grab and go and watch a cutscene with Starlo in a bush, and things are about to get pretty weird. Usually, this cutscene is played out when King Boo has kidnapped both Marios, but we've kinda skipped that. This is why the game doesn't really know what to do with them, so they just kinda stand there not really doing anything. Another side effect of this is that Luigi will have his scared walking animation whilst both Marios are clearly running. If you press X, both Marios will jump, but Luigi will disappear. Anyway, from here we can do some more clipping through things, and this next one is really simple. Just like the clip out of bounds in Twinsy Tropics dungeon, you need to run in this corner of the tree, constantly switching direction. You'd be surprised how easy it is for Mario to clip through the tree entirely. Once Mario is through, again use Trio Grab, and then you're able to run out to the other side. From here you want to head north to the next area, and you'll want to pull out the bridge to reach the tunnel. Up this slope is a spider web with a block that only Paper Mario can activate. Hit the block and then a short cutscene will play out where the gates open to give access to the rest of Gloomy Woods. And here the camera will lock in place, but now you'll have control of just Luigi. You'll need to use the bottom screen map to navigate Luigi back down the slope, over the bridge, and head south towards the first section of Gloomy Woods. When we arrive, the game will revert back to a somewhat normal state where Luigi moves at around 2 miles an hour, which is nice. Now we're going back to where the Starlo cutscene played out and to the bridge we pulled out earlier. This is why it was so important that we pulled it out, otherwise we'd be stuck here without the two Marios. That was some pretty broken stuff, but doing all that skips the rampaging Wiggler boss and all of West Gloomy Woods. We can now go on to the Toad Village in Gloomy Woods, and more importantly, the Lakitu Info Center. By speaking to Lakitu behind the desk, we can try to enter a Toad mission but cancel out of the menu by pressing B. Now the game will think we exited the Toad menus normally, which means surely the Marios must be with us, right? They'll be placed weirdly in the room, but we can easily hold up on the circle pad and jump down to leave like nothing even happened. Outside, we can use the green pipe to send us to North Gloomy Woods, and then on the other end you'll find Flutter, who can take you to Mount Brrr. Let's rewind for a second though, back to the Starlo cutscene in Gloomy Woods. Accessing the cutscene in this way can open itself up to some pretty funny glitches. glitches. After the cutscene's over, by entering a load zone for other areas whilst in Trio Grab, you can get some pretty funky results. But bear in mind, if you enter another area whilst in Trio Grab and press any of the jump buttons, the game is prone to crash. To see some of the weirder effects, you'll have to do a fairly tricky clip out of bounds at this point here. Just keep switching from up right to up left on the circle pad and you'll eventually clip off the edge. Doing this will get you to another area beyond the tunnel. You have to do this because the tunnel won't let you through while in Trio Grab, and jumping out of it will make the game crash. Now head north into some other areas and this will happen. Mario, you're not looking so good, dude. Other glitchy results are easier to pull off, just enter different areas while in Trio Grab. You can get Mario to disappear completely, or if you go too far right here, a cutscene will begin and the game will soft lock with both Marios stuck in the air. Once the Starlo cutscene ends, go back to the bridge we needed to pull out and then pull out the next one on the left. Now make your way back to the entrance to West Gloomy Woods heading to Sunbeam Plains. Before you go through the load zone, use Trio Grab and now go on through. Now if you press the A button to get out of Trio Grab, Luigi will turn into another Mario. Okay, that's pretty strange. This Mario can even jump, but it just looks so wrong. In this state, pressing X will crash the game, and depending on where you jump out of Trio Grab in Sunbeam Plains, that may also crash the game. You'll always keep this weird state as long as you go through any load zone in Trio Grab. And you can get Luigi to transform into many different characters depending on what sprites are loaded in that area. For instance, you can do the Gloomy Woods early clip whilst in Trio Grab, which is actually pretty difficult but not impossible. Once you're through, head to Gloomy Woods Toad Village and then you'll be confronted by this huge platform blocking the way. It's a good job the collision detection in this game is amazingly wonky, so you can just wiggle into the corner to get out of bounds. Now go all the way around Toad Village while out of bounds and then enter one of the houses from the back. You'll end up inside the house and in Trio Grab, so jump out of it and Luigi is now a green toad, and you can even make him jump. Can I just say, I love how broken this game is. I can have a green toad that jumps. Before we leave Gloomy Woods altogether, there's something else we can mess with in this part of the game. Jump in the green pipe and head to North Gloomy Woods. Head south and you'll enter a cutscene from the wrong side, and we're now able to move around while the cutscene plays. By heading back through the load zone holding the R button, we can store the fast forward ability that all cutscenes have and use it outside of a cutscene. This also plays havoc with Mario, Luigi, and Paper Mario's sprites. Like, where is the rest of Paper Mario's head? The music from the cutscene is also still playing over the top of the Gloomy Woods music, which is a real treat for the ears. This effect can be carried over to Mount Brrr, where you can really mess with their sprites. I got Mario and Luigi doing this, I got them doing the Running Man, a bit of moonwalk action. This is just too much fun. Sadly, the glitch ends once they hit the ice and everything's back to normal. Now we're here in Mount Brrr, we can easily clip out of bounds using the corner of this wall by a green pipe. Run against the edge of the card platform in the corner where it meets the stone wall and move to the right until you can clearly see Mario is inside the wall. You know the deal by now. Use Trio Grab, get out of bounds, this game is broken. You can now run across this huge gap without falling. Doing this lets you reach the tunnel section early, but also opens up a ton of new glitches. By entering the tunnel load zone like so, we skip a cutscene on the other side of the entrance. What we'll be doing next is called the walk through walls glitch. Switch to Mario's hammer and then go back through the entrance to the tunnel. Immediately begin pressing A to get through Starlo's text and stop briefly once Luigi begins speaking. This is to avoid getting stuck in a weird way during the cutscene. When Mario moves and then stops, immediately use Trio Hammer. If you do all this correctly, use Trio Grab and you'll now be able to walk through any wall. Now, besides the obviously hilarious broken nature of the glitch, it also plays a huge role in speedrunning this part of the game. Once you've activated the glitch, cancel out of Trio Grab and enter the load zone for the tunnel as you did before. The walk through walls glitch is still active and can be used extensively to reach King Babom in a ridiculously small amount of time. By going into Trio Grab and cancelling within a wall, Mario will be warped to a higher location. This is used here to skip a trio plane section, which if you've been skipping everything in a speedrun, you wouldn't actually have trio plane. To reach the lower section, you need to go off the edge and cancel out of Trio Grab, and this will place Mario on the ground with Luigi and Paper Mario close by. And now you can just go and hit the block. Now we need to hammer the huge blue and red buttons, and you have to hammer the red one first, otherwise again, the game will crash, possibly because we've skipped so much. Then we can simply go on to fight King Babom, but by this point we've skipped so much, we'll be insanely underleveled, although this boss is actually pretty simple once you get it down. The walk through walls glitch can also be activated in a different way much earlier in the game. In East Sunbeam Plains is a pen that only Paper Mario can get into, and on the far left wall, what a surprise, you can clip out of bounds. Get Paper Mario to stand roughly here and then tap up on the circle pad and then hold up and slightly left, and hopefully you'll see Paper Mario just barely clip through the top corner. Now tap down on the circle pad and he'll clip through the wall. From here, use the bottom screen map to guide Paper Mario into the house with the red roof. Once inside, save and then quit the game entirely, and then start the game back up and open the file again. Now head back to the Paper Toad pen and you'll see that Mario and Luigi are nowhere to be found. Enter the pen as you did earlier, exit again, and suddenly you'll be warped into the house you saved in, but you'll only have Mario and Luigi who are out of bounds off screen. Just hold up on the circle pad and jump and they'll be back on screen. Leave the house and now they'll be able to walk through any walls in the game. This would best be used to skip the Papercraft Goomba fight to enter Doop Doop Dunes early. Even after this cutscene with Nabbit, the glitch is still in effect, so you'll just run through everything. But you can cancel the glitch by entering a crack in the wall with Paper Mario. This is possibly one of the most broken things in the game with the amount of potential it has to skip things once it's active. Although there are many load zones that won't trigger with the glitch active, as it seems the game doesn't consider you grounded, so nothing happens. The glitch is also cancelled if you use a pipe or an elevator to another place. You can still use things like Trio Hammer and Trio Grab, but this can also have some weird effects. So hey, have fun messing around with one of the most broken glitches in the game. Here's another cool glitch you can do in a Twinsy Tropics Toad mission called Slide Storage. There are many points in the game where you're given the ability to slide, usually to catch something, and it's only given in certain situations. However, there's a way you can keep this ability in regular gameplay. In the mission Tropical Paper Toad Hunt, you can once again get out of bounds. On this edge, you can use Trio Grab to get beyond the collision if you get in just the right spot and move upwards. Once you get out of bounds, simply leave the screen by heading right. When you head back to where the mission took place, you can clearly see the game is in a state it would be outside of a Toad mission. But we now have a glitch known as Toad Storage, where the effects of being in a Toad mission are still in play outside of a mission. If we now head to the Lakitu Info Center and the arcade, choose and play any game and then lose quickly so the game saves your score. Now press the home button on the 3DS and close the game, then start the game back up again. Now when the game loads up, you'll be in the arcade and the slide has now been stored. This means you can use it wherever you want in the game. This glitch serves no real purpose, it's just another example of how broken this game is. But what's interesting is the ability to leave a Toad mission in an unconventional way, which leads to another huge game-breaking glitch. Neo Bowser Castle is very boss-heavy, but the Toad Storage glitch makes light work of all of that. This next glitch is best performed once you have the Cannon Bridge minigame in Neo Bowser Castle completed, so you're able to go up to the Kamek boss fight. With that taken care of, go to the Lakitu Info Center in Mount Brrr and choose the mission Paper Toad Freeze Out. When the mission begins, go to the place where you can perform the out of bounds clip to reach the tunnel early. Here we can use Trio Drill to clip through the fence by drilling into the ground and then getting in just the right spot. Then jump out of the ground and Mario should be a lot closer to this wall than is usually possible. Now use Trio Grab as always and you'll be able to get everyone through the fence. We now need to make our way around to the other side of the Lakitu Info Center and then enter a load zone. This will cancel the Toad mission in the same way it did in Twinsy Tropics, and this now means we have Toad Storage. Next, we'll go back to Neo Bowser Castle and cross the bridge to head up and fight Kamek. The fight will begin like any other, but we're going to lose the fight on purpose, and once everyone's at 0 HP, the game over screen will appear as expected. Then we're prompted to retry or return to title screen. Choose return to title screen, and as if by magic, the fight will be over and the succeeding cutscene will play out, allowing you to move on with the story. The only downside of this is you won't receive any of the rewards associated with that fight. This is called the Instant Battle Glitch, and it can be used on every enemy in the game, even the final boss with the Bowsers. All you have to do is lose, it's that simple. When you finish the game in this way, the credits roll as expected, but when they end, the game drops Mario, Luigi, and Paper Mario in the Lakitu Info Center where you initiated the glitch. You're not stuck here, however, as if you move left until the camera lines up with the middle of the room and then move downwards whilst continuously jumping, you'll be able to get them all back inside the room. The game can now be played as normal from here on out, but there are one or two strange side effects. If you return to Neo Bowser Castle and go to the final room of the game, the platform that takes you up to the Bowsers has moved on, and approaching it will crash the game as it tries to play a cutscene that's no longer there. Another effect Instant Battle Glitch has is if you use it in a regular battle that doesn't lead to a cutscene, the game will exit the fight automatically and the screen will go black. By pausing and unpausing the game as soon as this happens, you get everything to reappear, with the exception of the ground and the walls of the current place you're in. The collision hitboxes for the walls are still there, however, so it's just the textures that haven't loaded correctly. Some other side effects of the Toad storage glitch occur if you have it active when you watch this cutscene of the bridge sections separating and the spikes appearing in their place. Once it's over, you can select info on the bottom screen and then cancel out of the mission, and doing this sends you back to the Lakitu Info Center. Now return to Neo Bowser Castle and make your way to the room with the bridge, and here's where things get weird. The bridge will now be in place, but it won't be solid, so you'll fall right through it. But it's now possible with a very precise use of Trio Plane to just about make it to the other side. If you make it to the other side, you can now use the platform to go and fight Kamek. This skips putting all the bridge sections back into place and the canon minigame, and this whole thing was something I discovered completely by accident. We've seen a lot of glitches in this episode, and I would honestly consider Mario and Luigi Paper Jam to be one of the most broken games in recent memory by far. So there you have it guys, some fun and game-breaking glitches you can try out in Mario and Luigi Paper Jam. If you like Mario glitches, check out some other episodes like Super Mario 3D Land or Super Mario Galaxy. A huge thanks to Really Tall, Solidified Gaming, Nman36, and Mr. Cheese, who all broke this game hard. You should definitely go check them all out. And if you like this episode, hit that like button, share it with everyone you know and love, but most importantly, please subscribe if you want to see more from the series. Head over to the Facebook page for the show. I post updates and sneak peeks to upcoming episodes and keep you guys in the know about all things Son of a Glitch. Or you can follow me on Twitter and keep updated that way. Go on, try it, you might like it.